Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. This is a dish that I learned from a classically trained chef who came from France, had a restaurant in Pennsylvania for years. Really awesome guy. I worked with him for a year. I learned a lot. I learned the most from him in a year than I did jumping from restaurant to restaurant where I was targeting different restaurants for different learning situations. By far, the experience I had with Mr. Caronello was awesome. So this is a dish he created for his restaurant, Le Bon Auberge. It was a dinner menu item. It was shrimp, shallots, garlic, saffron, basil, a little bit of white wine, and tomato concasse, and everything would be sauteed together, simmered, and then floated with a little bit of Monte Beurre at the end to finish the sauce. Really was a nice, awesome dish, and I always loved smelling that when he was cooking it. So this is my take on his dish. So as you see, you get the shrimp, you prep them, you peel them, devein them, get rid of the shrimp shells. You save them for a stock or for a soup because you can still pull flavor on that. You then take your tomato and make concasse and give it a nice medium dice. There's a few steps, but I will show you how to make tomato concasse in an upcoming video. For now, here's the end piece. And you need everything prepped in advance because this dish goes fast. From start to finish, it'll take about, I don't even think, 8 minutes. So you want to have everything set up for your a la minute saute. All right, you want to put the pan on medium-high heat. Start with a hot pan, cold oil, cold butter. The oil is going to protect the butter from immediately burning. Gives you a little bit of time. Once the butter starts to brown, I'm going to sear the shrimp. I left the first part of cooking the shrimp whole. I did not cut anything. This is going to show you how quick the actual sear and cooking is. I'm only cooking the shrimp 50% through because there's going to be a little carryover cooking once I pull it off the flame. And I want it to finish once I put the shrimp back into the Monte Beurre when I finish the sauce at the end. So I get a nice sear on the shrimp. I'm going to remove it, remove some of the excess oil and butter, and then I'm going to start building my sauce on top of the shrimp flavored pan. All of that inside the pan is a lot of the goodness what helps build your sauce. At this point, you see me remove the oil and the butter. I added the shallots and garlic, and I'm trying to get the nutty flavor out of the shallots and garlic by searing it with the medium-high heat. Pan was a little dry, so I added a little bit of the oil and butter that I removed. I put a little bit back so that the shallots and garlic didn't stick to the pan. Yeah. Tomato concasse is next. You don't want the diced tomato to be cooked and fall apart. You still want to have a little bit of bite to it. You don't want it to be al dente, but if you cook it too long, it'll fall apart. So with this dish being about 8 minutes, that'll get you thoroughly cooked, but you still have a little bit of the texture of all the different ingredients. Deglazing a pan with some Sauvignon Blanc wine. Let it simmer and reduce. That's the amount of saffron threads that I put in. And that was the tube of basil paste that I was talking about. If you want to go whole hog and absolutely use fresh basil leaves, you would just chop it up and give a nice chiffonade, which would be little julienne strands that would try and get it to look like the saffron in the thinness of how you cut it. And I would estimate, I would start with probably 3 large basil leaves and then just adjust accordingly. You definitely want to have a prominent basil and saffron flavor. At this point, the white wine has reduced by half, and you saw me put about a tablespoon and a half of butter. And what Monte Beurre is, it's how a lot of times French finish pan sauces. They will take whole butter and put it in the liquid. What it does, it reduces, it gives it a richness, and it also gives it a nice shine. You don't want to do it on high heat. A lot of times the trick with when chefs add it in is at the very end, and they would have the sauce bubbling. They would add the cold butter, shut off the heat, and let it mix on its own. Here, I'm waiting for the shrimp to cook, so I turned it down low, low heat as I could on that flame, and I'm finishing the shrimp, getting it reheated, finishing the cooking on it, and melting the butter into it. If you use too high a heat, you will notice, because you will see the butter separate from the liquid. So it'll look like a separated gravy if you've ever had that happen to you making a sauce or for your turkey gravy for Thanksgiving. It's not bad, but it's not the way it should be. The butter should emulsify in with the liquid. And that's it. That is shrimp meridionale. Very, very rich. Quite a few calories, as you can see. But for a special occasion, it is worth the price of the calorie. I just want to say, everybody, thank you so much for watching another video. Any questions, please leave them in the comments below. It is a simple dish, but the flavors meld so well together. It's worth a try. If you were to serve it with something, you would use whatever seasonal vegetable, and you could do rice with it. I'm trying to think back what he served with it. I think he would do pureed vegetables on the side. So this dish would be on a platter by itself, and then you would get a side plate of, when I was there, he would do pureed carrot, pureed cauliflower, and the green. I can't remember what the green was. I want to say spinach. Sometimes we did a creamed reduced spinach. Yep. I can't remember a third one. This is going back to 1995. It's been a while, but thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Have a good day. See you on the next one.